Welcome back to challenge slides 5 and 6. I gotta tell you, this one I found the most challenging of all of them, okay? So what you gotta do is realize that you're gonna need a couple of horizontal lines to help you in here. So if you start out with realizing that what I need to do is I need to come down and then from my marbles, I need to come down kind of at a shallow slope, hit that one, bring it back to this one, and then bring it back over to this one. That kind of gets going. So from here over to here, it's a really shallow slope. We go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see, it's pretty darn shallow. Okay, so let's assume that we're coming over to the wall over here. So this would be roughly y equals, let's say, a tenth of x, okay? And now I need to shift that thing up a little bit. So let's go plus 9. And then once I get them over there, I got to come back down the other way. So what I'm doing is I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to come up above it. And then I'm going to bring my marbles over there. I'm going to turn them around. I'm going to come back down this way, okay? And then when I get in here, then I'm going to turn around and come back down that way. So I need to stop this thing at roughly, around here-ish before I get too far past it. So let's go with x is greater than 4. Okay, so if I do that, that gives me my first piece. And note if I launch it, that it does exactly what I want it to do. It brings my marbles over to that side, gets that. Now I got to turn them around and make them come back the other way. Okay, so let's do that. So if we bring them back the other way, it's going to go y equals -1 divided by 3x, because I went again with a shallow slope. You can, these slopes are not unique. You can figure out ones that work for you. But I went down 2 and over 6 roughly, which is 1/3. And then I got to bring that thing back up. So I needed to start around here, around 8-ish. So let's go with plus 8. And now notice if I launch, that's looking pretty good. I got all of them but one, right? Okay, so that was a pretty good. I got that far, and then I'm like, now what do I do now? Okay, well, I'm going to have to make this thing stop somewhere over here so it'll turn around and come back. So let's go with the x is less than 6. More than one way to skin a cat here, but if I stop it there, and now I can take a horizontal line to catch my marbles to bring it over a little bit, okay? Remember how you do a horizontal line. It's y equals 6. In this case is what I want to do, because watch here. I'm going to show you if I do the launch. Okay, if I come down. Okay, see, I got my marble. Now I got to get it to drop off and come back the other way, okay? So let's stop it. I need a line that's going to stop it and bring it back this way. This one's over at 4. So in other words, I'm going to do a shelf here. I'm going to come over, I'm going to catch them, I'm going to bring them back down a shelf and bring them back the other way. So first off, I got to stop that one. That's going too far. So let's go with, let's go with 6 is less than x, which is less than 14. Okay. And so now that's going to bring me over. What I'm doing is I'm bringing them over to another line that's going to bring them back down to here. Okay. So I need one more line that's going to bring them down. But notice that the other piece I'm going to get in here, just to go ahead and get that in right away. I'm going to go y equals 4. And now notice all I got to do is get a wall over here to stop the things. They're going to come down, boom, slide down, go down, and then hit them so smack so they come back down and roll that away. Okay, so you got a variety of different lines that you can do to do that. But notice that it's got to have a positive slope. So, y equals x is going to work just fine. And then I got to shift that bad boy down. So I'm going through the origin right now. So I just kept subtracting numbers until I got it to get down far enough, because I can't really see my y-axis down there. So -11, -12, either of those, anything to get it down so that it's low enough. Okay. Ta-da! Okay, and again, now that is not a unique solution. There's lots of different ways of doing it. That's the way I got her done. If you did it a different way, my props to you, okay? All right, let's go take a look at challenge slide number 6, okay? So this is slide 21. So I did some fancy schmancy stuff on this one. I'll show you what I did. Again, like I said, it's not unique. Is I looked at the slope here, And I said, look, I got to make a cone that's going to come down and it's going to catch my my marbles. Okay, so I did y equals, let me just type in what I did here to remind myself, 1 divided by 10 of x plus 6.5, and then what did I do? That's from 7 to 12. Okay, so that was one piece of it. Okay, and then my next piece that I used was y equals 1/10 x plus 5.5. Oops, I lost a negative on that previous one. Sorry about that. My bad. That should have been a negative on there. No wonder that didn't look right to me. There we go. That's because I'm going to make it come down and go, boom, hit this one, part of them that way, part of them that way, and I'm going to catch them and bring them back down. Okay? And then let's see, plus 5.5. What was that, 5.25? I think it might have been 5.25. Maybe even 1.5. Who knows? Yeah, 1.5 looks good. See, I wanted to come down so these two lines meet each other. Okay, so again, I did this one by guess and test. I have to admit this one was not a lot of calculations involved in it. I just kind of played with it, which is okay. I mean, there is some argument in favor of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and try that. And let's see, I'm going to split my marbles in two. Looking good. Now I got to do is get one more line to come down here and catch the marbles and bring them back. So you can put it over here with a negative slope or a positive slope. It is totally your call. I believe I did, for my third line here, y equals -1 divided by 2x. So there's my line looking good. I'm just going to have to shift that thing up. Let's see, up to 5. And let's try that. I don't think I need to even adjust it at this point. There you go. Okay, now that is one possible solution. There's lots of ways you could have done this one, but I did it just by trial and error. Okay, there's nothing the matter with that. I mean, there's obviously going to be more sophisticated, like we did in some of the earlier ones, and calculate it using y equals mx plus b. But if you did it by trial and error, you have probably a pretty good sense of how to manipulate slopes and y-intercepts to get the lines to behave the way you want them. Okay, let's call that one good, and we'll come back with the next two in just a bit.